Goblin Slayer is a Japanese dark fantasy light novel turned into anime series. What's good? It's a boy dude reviews, and today we are reviewing the Goblin Slayer anime. And it was directed by Taiko Osaki, and the manga is written by Kumo Kagura. I think that's how. Is it? No, that's the wrong person. It was kind of written by a few people. The most recent one was Kotsuki Kurosuro, and yeah, Kumo Kagura is the guy or gal who wrote the novel. And yeah, it's been turned into a TV series, and I watched it on it was Funimation, and people have been talking about this show so much that I kind of had to, had to just give it a watch. I don't know, I remember when Sword Art Online was the first season was still going on, people were talking about this and comparing it to Sword Art Online because there were certain episodes that kind of correlated to that anime in some way. And yeah, anyway, what is this show about? Well, in a world of fantasy, adventure comes far and wide to join the guild in order to complete contracts for whatever jobs are available. An inexperienced priestess, I don't know the priestess name though, it's just priestess, joins her first adventuring party but comes into danger after her first adventure contract involving goblins goes terribly wrong. After the rest of the party is wiped out, she is saved by a man known as Goblin Slayer, an adventurer whose only purpose is the eradication of goblins with extreme prejudice. And this anime was... Okay, let's talk about the good of this anime. I mean, the good, I have to admit, I do like the main character of Goblin Slayer, and I watched this anime in dub, and Brad Hawkins really does portray this guy really well. He's very mysterious, and you know that he has this vendetta against these goblins, and as the anime progresses, you do see the reasoning as to why he hates these goblins so much. And yeah, he really just wants to eliminate them. And people are always confused, like the people around him in the world are like really confused as to why he only cares about goblins, because there are other like creatures out there that he can kill and defeat, and he chooses to just take down goblins for whatever for whatever reason. And I will say this, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. The thing with this show is that this show has possibly one of the best first episodes in anime history, in my honest opinion. I absolutely loved episode 1. It literally starts out as this kind of like fantasy world where people want to be heroes and just want to save the day. And I just love how episode 1 of this anime starts off with a young priestess joining a group of rookie adventurers who decide to raid a cave infested with goblins. Now, before I go on, I will warn you there are a bit of spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled by the first episode, go watch it now, you have been warned. And yeah, things go quickly away with the inexperienced party as they are ambushed by goblins, resulting in all of them being killed and raped or captured. And I actually wasn't expecting it to go in this direction. I knew this show was gonna have dark elements, but I didn't think it was gonna be this disturbingly dark this early on in the game. They literally they just went out. They went Game of Thrones on this first episode. It was kind of horrifying watching it. It was very disturbing, this episode, and it really did set like the tone for the entire series. And this is what they should, like, anime series should do. Like these type of this first episode really did hook me, because I was like, whoa, this is really messed up. But it, anyway, Goblin Slayer comes in, saves the day, and the priestess decides to join Goblin Slayer, and the two of them come into contact with other people. They make like a little team with a high elf archer, a dwarf shaman, and a lizard priest. And yeah, I do like the little band. I thought they were pretty cool. They all have their unique little personalities and all that. And I did like the first episode. and episode 2, some more episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, and then afterwards it kind of went a bit downhill, but we'll get to that later. And I do like the sound editing in this anime. I thought it was pretty cool and pretty well done. Now this anime is strange because I have to admit, some of like when they're fighting in like dark scenes, it is pretty. The thing is that this anime has nice still shots, particularly on Goblin Slayer. I do like some of like the still shots of certain characters, especially Goblin Slayer, and I thought it looked pretty cool and all that. And yeah, this anime isn't too bad, but then we come straight to my mixed aspects with this film, and my mixed aspect is definitely the main character, not Goblin Slayer, the priestess. I don't know what her name is. She's just called Priestess, and she's the main protagonist of the series. And I mean, I know it's still season 1 and there's still so much you can do, but she's just there to look cute pretty much. She's very useless. She doesn't do much. She keeps saying that she's gonna be awesome and amazing, and then she ends up, you know, crying and wetting herself. And I suppose it works in the favor of the storyline, because it shows you that even though people have this idea of what it means to be a hero and save the day, when it actually comes down to the, fighting against the enemies, they end up, you know, not being as heroic as they should be. And I will admit, I did think that was an interesting, you know, difference. Like, it's not your typical shonen in a way, but honestly, she wasn't that interested. She was just kind of like, ugh. And I don't know, the voice actress gives this very off voice. Like, I watched it in dubbing, and the person who voiced Hayden Davuya, she gives this very suggestive type of voice acting. You'll know when you hear her voice. So I'm not too sure what it's like in Japanese, but yeah, certain actors didn't sound that right, in all honesty, to be honest with you. This anime it's short, obviously, and it could be longer, and there's gonna be, and I know there's gonna be other seasons because Goblin Slayer is gonna return, and there's light novels and all that, and I think there's a movie coming out next year, so who knows. And the problem with this film is that I don't think we don't get enough time to. It's a mixed aspect for me, because we don't get enough time to delve deep into characters. Like, we get to see Goblin Slayer's past and what he was like and what led him up to it, and I thought it was, yeah, okay, but it was very, 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 very rushed the way they executed it. I felt like there could have been 2-3 more episodes, you know, explaining more, but it felt really rushed. And this is where we come to my negatives, is that the last 3 episodes of this show feels so rushed. It's like it just goes straight for it, you know. It's like an ordinary day, and then goblins are gonna attack the house. It's like there's no real build up. It just kind of happens in that 2-episode arc. Like, there's nothing foreshadowing what's gonna happen, but it's like, yeah, it just kind of happens. Like, the final like few episodes, it's very rushed, and it's not really that well paid off because there was no build up to that, you know, so it didn't feel earned in any way. Also, some of the suggestive rape scenes in this is a little uncomfortable. I was kind of queasy and cringing watching those scenes, because it's the way they designed the characters who are being raped is like they have overly sized body proportions that do not match the way they're, like, you know, the way their bodies are built. And it's like they draw these characters in a way, like these female characters, I'm talking about the male, I'm talking about the female, like they're very, you know, yeah, they're very out there, very exposing. And honestly, to be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of those scenes. They really, really, really were not. But it does show you how gruesome these goblins are in a way, you know, how vile and disgusting they are. They make you hate the villains even more, like these evil goblins. And it's like, yeah, it's, ugh. But honestly, this anime was kind of a letdown. Like, the way people have been hyping this anime, like, and then I go and watch it and I get this. I mean, really? Is that it? I mean, I know there's gonna be other seasons, but I don't know. I kind of was expecting a little bit more, to be honest with you. Just a little bit more. Um, I would say there are some nice moments, like I do like, every scene with Goblin Slayer in and the people interacting with this dude is pretty good. I do like Goblin Slayer. I just like how he's so obsessed with goblins. He's like, where are the goblins? How many are the goblins? Where are they? I want to kill them. I want to do this. It's like, oh my, he's so obsessed, this dude. But honestly, just even the animation in this anime isn't that impressive. Like, I was like looking at it and I was like, the motion isn't that great. It's kind of not so appealing. Like, for a modern anime, it's kind of standard looking. I mean, yeah, and it made you realize that I could have watched anything else than this, to be honest with you. Like, there are other animes out there that look better than this, and I suppose it is what it is, to be honest with you. I mean, I know there's probably going to be more, seasons, and hopefully they're going to be better than this one. But am I looking forward to those future seasons? Heck no, to be honest with you. Like, the whole world is kind of bland looking. It kind of does remind me a little bit of Seven Deadly Sins at times, like certain character designs, they do remind me of that show in a way. And even the voice acting, it's very reminiscent of that series. But with Seven Deadly Sins, they had much more interesting characters with better backstories, and the animation was considerably better. Like, Seven Deadly Sins, I wouldn't mind giving that show another rewatch just because I was more into that show than I was with this one. And this show just was a bit of a letdown. And with that, I'm going to give this series, without a doubt, I'm going to give it a C, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, if you like this show, go ahead and watch it, but only episode 1 to like 5 were pretty decent. And then I just kind of was like done with it, because the fighting, the action scenes, they're really poorly done. Like, I don't like the way the actions is done, It's very static and very bland looking, to be honest with you. I would say episode 5 was pretty interesting, like, the first 5 episodes were pretty good. Then episode 6, I suppose, any episodes that really delve deep into Goblin Slayer's past is really interesting. And I wanted more of that, but the show didn't allow me to get that. And it is what it is, to be honest with you. I'd say go check it out for the sake of it, but I'd give this a skip. But thank you for watching this review. Please like and share this video and comment down below and tell me what's your favourite anime series of 2019 so far. This anime came out last year, but it just finished like at the end of 2018, so it's still a pretty new recent anime. But thank you for watching, and oh yeah, the movie's coming out next year, so be ready for Goblin Slayer 2, I suppose. But thank you for watching. Please like and share this video and comment down below. And as always, a boy review signing out.